Welcome. Today I am going to be talking about my second oil to work with midlife anger, frustration, irritability. I did one on marjoram, so you can check that one out. And today we're going to be exploring the second oil, which is Blue Tansy. And I'm going to talk about a few points that you can use and how they're different. Similar, complementary oils, but they're different. So welcome. My name is Angela Warburton. I am an Eastern medicine practitioner with over 25 years of experience working in the clinic with women at all stages of life. And I use holistic medicine, time-tested medicine, combined, I call it the science and the soul of menopause. So using natural medicine, but combining it with what we know about the brain, the body, the changes that happen at midlife, and everything we're learning up to date with science, but combining it with these time-tested tools to help you as you transition through this powerful time of life, and have these things in your back pocket so you can do it in conjunction with whatever other therapies you're deciding to use, because there's lots. If we all work together, the better you are going to feel. So welcome. Today I am going to be talking about Blue Tansy. So Blue Tansy is not necessarily well known. It is a very blue oil. I'll show you. It is a bright blue color, and it has just an amazing, amazing smell. It is very sweet and green. And if you think of this, and it's kind of got an earthy smell to it as well, but it is when you have things that are green smelling, like that fresh green energy in Eastern medicine, we say it is associated with the liver system. It helps to move energy. It helps to create circulation in the body. And the sweetness brings a little bit of flow. That whole, like a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. So it brings a bit of sweetness to it. So it's the vibe of Blue Tansy is a harmonizing one, but it reminds us that we can play and laugh and enjoy the process while, transitioning through joy and through play, even when we're frustrated and angry. So it has a nice smoothing, uplifting quality to it. It's known for its ability to calm and relax the mind, and it has an ability to stabilize mood. So it makes it really helpful for times when you're navigating a lot of emotional stuff. Welcome to perimenopause and menopause, because it comes up in perimenopause and menopause. And certainly anger and frustration is something I know for me, it was a big deal for me. It was something that, and I still transition through, just feeling frustration. A lot of times it's like, oh, my old life wasn't working, but I was so in it and I didn't know what exactly I wanted to do. And just anyone wanting anything extra from me, I just get tight and irritable and resentful. And so, and I love laughing. I love, having a good time and playing and having fun. And I felt like that was being sucked out of me a little bit. And so then it was by doing all the extra work to understand what my feelings were or what I needed, but also using allies like oils that were really, really helpful. So essential oils are really gentle, powerful ways to address any kind of stuck energies, and it's really helpful to transform these energies to help bring a little bit more of a smooth flow. So in Eastern medicine, the liver system is related to anger, frustration, but it also has to do with managing all emotions. So in particular, Blue Tansy can help with any of these managing anger. So we want to express anger. Anger is a normal, healthy emotion. As women, we're often told, don't be angry, you should be nice. And that's like, okay, don't tell me that. But we want healthy expression of anger. So we don't want to take it out on people or snap at people. That doesn't feel good for anyone. But emotions are there to be heard and to be processed. And so to have a healthy expression of anger, Blue Tansy can be a great ally for that. Because sometimes anger can come from any kind of repressed fear or safety concerns. And I often think of when we're pushed beyond our limits or things aren't working, it's like a bit of a wild animal in a corner and we can bite out. So when we can create Blue Tansy in particular is really helpful for bringing flow, for bringing that, hey, it's okay. All right, we've got this. Can we do it? Can we find the humor? Can we find the flow in things to help transition? So, so there's that biting anger. And anger can also be internalized. So this is where sometimes women will turn against themselves. And this can manifest in passive aggressive behavior. It can manifest in depression or like, how are you? Oh, I'm fine. I'm fine. Everything. No, it's fine. It's fine. It's not fine. It's not fine. So how can we not turn that towards ourselves, repress that just to go along? I'm be fine. I'll deal with myself later. So it helps to facilitate the healthy movement of anger. And it does this through humor. And so it can help soften rigidity, help to increase more that fluidity, that flexibility. If you think of it like and this has happened to my partner and I, sometimes we'll be ridiculously fighting about, I don't even know what. And one of us will just say something and then we'll just start laughing. And it just immediately disperses. It's like, oh, okay, what's this really about? And so it's like the humor that a court jester has, like we can say the truth, but through humor, we can laugh and find ways to deal with things like, oh my God, this again, why am I dealing with, and finding some creative way, some playful way, some more fluid way to transition. In Eastern medicine, we say it also is connected to our heart system. This is really helpful for our heart system. And in particular, what we call is our Shen. So Shen is like our spirit. It's the presence, the essence of a person. It's like what you're here to do. And when you feel most yourself, it's like that light that shines out of your eyes. It is the uniqueness that is you. And we are here in physical body, but here to express ourselves fully. And when we're living in that way, we say our Shen is bright, our spirit is present, and we're present within ourselves. So when we have what we say a harmonious Shen, it's indicative of a very balanced mind. It's where stuff will come, but we have the ability to formulate ideas, to go roll with the punches, so to speak, and to live in a way that is fully expressing ourselves. And this is really what I see as the transition of perimenopause and menopause. It is transitioning out of, letting go of things that weren't working, fully understanding who we are, our unique gifts, our skills, our interests, but also the wisdom and experience we've cultivated to this point. And then as we transition, we lose all those hormones that when we have this cycle that we just are flooded with hormones, now we go to flatline a little bit like how we were when we were kids, different. We still have hormones, we still make hormones, but not from our ovaries. We don't have that abundance. So we just don't have the capacities that we did when we're menstruating. This isn't wrong, but but it's going to be different. And so if we just try to keep going like we're kind of missing the point. And so it's like, how can we roll with the punches, understand what needs to go, recognizing our changing bodies, like, oh my God, I have this hair that's this long that just grew out of my hand. What in my chin? Like, what the heck? And find humor in that versus like, this is so random. I remember driving with my friend and she looked over at me. The sun was shining in and I was driving. She's like, oh my God. And she pulled this hair and we were like, it was like out here. It was like super blonde. So you couldn't see it unless it was in that particular light. We still call it the hair. But just finding, I don't know why I'm sharing that with you, but there you go. Like these are changes that happen. And I have a hair that grows out of my chin or my neck, whatever. Okay, so can we find humor in it versus like, oh my God, there's a hair growing out of my chin. So so it allows us to transition with emotion, with more flexibility, with more humor, with more play, really. So it's great for anyone struggling with that rigidity. If you're noticing that you have sudden mood swings, outbursts of anger, if you're feeling really cynical or jealous or envious, this can be a sign we aren't feeling stable. And don't have that flexibility, that pliability. So you can still have the same impact, but it doesn't have to be like white knuckling and I'm going to be tough when I do it. There can be a little more flow. It has a nervous system and a calming effect on the nervous system. It has it helps to resolve temporal lobe dysregulation as well. And so the temporal lobe, when it's dysregulated, it can lead to difficulties with memory retention. If our attention sort of wanders, really badly, like recognizing faces and things, but we're talking like mild temporal lobe dysfunction. It can cause emotional disturbances, like we feel more aggressive, or if we're like finding like we're just like persistent talking, that can be a sign that this system's off of balance. So the Blue Tansy can be really helpful to create a calming, more balanced state from that in your mind as well. And more similar to, if you've watched the marjoram video, it's similar, has an effect on the PNEI effect, so the psychoneuroimmunology and immune systems in the body. And so it can reduce hyperactivity in the limbic system and the basal ganglia. So that's like modulating behavior, emotions, really helpful for anxiety and depression, emotional turmoil, if you will, and helps bring back that balance and calm. Because it works on the liver system and this tight, like if the liver system, if we're stressed out, any kind of stress conditions where we feel really tight, I always liken this to a car having its foot, having your foot on the gas and the brake at the same time. So the car is spinning its tires, but it's not moving anywhere. And that will build up heat. And so if we have heat and that kind of stuck energy in the body, we can get inflammatory conditions. So this will help to create more smoothness, to more flow, and so it has an anti-inflammatory effect and an analgesic effect, so it helps with pain. So great for Blue Tansy in particular, muscle aches and joints, nerve pain, and even some skin conditions like rashes. It's very calming for the skin. I actually have a skin oil that I put together. It's a radiant oil for women, and there is some Blue Tansy in that because it creates this calming, healing, decongesting, like anti-inflammatory effect on the skin as well. Which with this sort of tightness, if we're stressed, often that affects the digestive system as well. So we'd say the liver system can attack that system in Eastern medicine, but we know from a nervous system response, when we're stressed, our body will cut off blood supply to things that it deems unnecessary. And digesting when we're in a fight or flight kind of state isn't necessary. So that's if you're noticing bloating, gas, flatulence, burping, that's exacerbated by stress, Blue Tansy will be helpful to help nourish and smooth so that the blood starts to go back to your digestive system again. So it helps promote relaxation. Again, if we're really tight and, hardening around things, that can affect our sleep as well. So it has a very calming effect when we can relax that system. We say it helps with the heart yin, which helps with better sleep, relaxation. And if you're prone to nighttime worrying, this can be really, really helpful. So there's a little caution with Blue Tansy. Be careful if you're using it, you don't want to use it in the first trimester of pregnancy. I just got a cramp in my leg if I'm moving weird, just so everybody knows I just did something weird. There you go. So first trimester of pregnancy, and if you have estrogen-dependent cancers, you want to avoid using it. There's still research coming, new research, but just because of just to avoid it if that's you. So overall, really, really powerful for emotional stability, promoting flexibility, support with well-being. It really helps you to release what is no longer serving you and do it with a little bit of play and a little bit of humor. So I'm going to tell you a few points to use this on. You don't need a lot. With you're doing dilution with Blue Tansy, it's about a 15% dilution. So that means 15% of the oil with 85%, quick math there, 85% of the carrier oil. Carrier oil can be sweet almond oil, jojoba oil, fractionated coconut oil. You can use a vegetable oil. You don't want anything with a strong smell, ideally, but if it's you want it natural, and you want the quality of the oil to be, it's really important, the quality of oil. So nothing synthetic. It is very strong because it's got that. This is diluted. It's a 15% dilution. You can see how blue it was, and it smells amazing. So there's a couple of points that I am going to tell you about. So we want to work on ones on the liver channel. So You can use it on the top of your shoulders, gallbladder 21, which is just at the tip of your shoulder, but you've got the tip of the shoulder blade and the base of your actual spine, and it's halfway between on the highest part of your shoulder. This is a gallbladder called gallbladder 21. This gallbladder channel runs around the sides of your head. There's a point at the occipital, like the meeting at the base of your skull, down here through the sides of your bodies, through your hips and your butt, down the sides of your legs. And so if you're someone who's like clenched and your hips are tight and you're getting tension headaches, or you just find at night you're just tight in here and you can't settle, that might be a beautiful point for you. The other one is called liver 14, and it's the gate of hope is this point. And if you're someone who finds that your rib cage is like a locked box, this will be really helpful. There's actually 2 locations for this point, depending on the school that you're in. Anyways, I'm not going to get into Chinese medicine politics, but I'm just going to share the point with you. I'll tell you the 2 locations. And let me share my screen because I know you all love to see. So this location is, if you go straight down from the center of your collarbone, straight through, this is a male model. Obviously, men have nipples in the same place. Women, we've got all kinds of different breasts going on. So our nipples are not always in the same place. So center of your collarbone, straight down to the end of your floating rib. So if you go along your what's it called? Your rib cage, and you find that first floating rib, that point is there. And so this is one of the locations there. You might feel tenderness there, and you can just gently, the technique is very gentle. You put the diluted oil, it's the same on both sides, by the way. And I'm just gonna show you here, very gently laying the oil on the point. There is no, if you're seeing an indent, that is too hard. Bodies are wise. They don't need a lot of forcing. The oil is powerful, and you're putting it over the portal of the acupuncture point. So you're just going to lay it on and just very, very gently. That's too hard. You're just laying it on 1 to 3 minutes. Pay attention to how you feel. You might not feel much. You might feel just like a bit of a relaxing. I've used Blue Tansy in the clinic, and one of my clients just started to giggle. She's like, oh my God, what is that? And sometimes tears come, sometimes, just honor what you feel. It's different for everyone, but used regularly, oils can have a profound impact over time. And so, usually I say, if you're working on something in particular, you want to do the oil daily, and do it for these in particular, maybe a couple of weeks. When you're doing something else, like some of the other oils I've done on blood sugar regulation, that's more like months. You want to be doing the oil every day for a month. But if you're working on transitioning and transforming with anger, like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and use your intuition too, because if you look at my other videos, there are other points that I've talked about. So if you there's not one place to put the oil, but I'm giving you some of the top points as well. So if you like this video, please hit like. If you want more information like this, very holistic for this midlife transition, you can hit subscribe. I love your comments. I love your, you have suggestions, or you have, what is it called when you have requests? I will take requests. And sometimes, if you don't understand or know about this, or I just say, be kind, be curious, and give it a try, and reach out to me if you have any questions. I'm here to serve. I'm here to help you transition this powerful stage with as much joy, with as much ease, with as much information to help you, and as many tools as possible to help you transition this powerful, powerful time of life. So thank you for being here. It's my joy to share this with you, and have a beautiful day or evening, and I will see you next time. All right, bye for now.